there's no place like home for the holidays. And no matter how far away you roam, if you pine for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays you can.
Welcome back to Horror for the Holidays, a Christmas horror movie podcast. I'm Jay Logsdon.
And I'm Jeff Searcy.
And Jeff, we're back. We're back in the the Ankeny Kirkham-Dirk Library.
Ah, yes. The
Long live King George III.
Indeed.
We're having a heat wave.
Oh, yeah.
It's been like 50s.
Oh, man, it's so great.
I mean, it's better than our
Compared to
10 straight days of minus 10 or lower.
I was going to say, that negative 35 wind chill last Wednesday was great.
Our 10 inches of snow. My absolute favorite thing, the fact that my kids had 2 full days of school in a almost like 7-day period.
Yeah. You know, it's always great. Just Iowa weather is so amazing, especially, where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to get through this winter okay, I think. We've made it through January without it being super, super cold, Jay, so it should be fine, right?
Yep.
Nope.
Not at all.
Wrong. 10-day polar vortex.
Oh my
freeze
gosh.
to death.
Oh, it was awful. And because my remodel's going on, I'm stuck in the basement.
Oh, yeah,
so it was
great.
even colder for me.
Yes, the coldest part of the house and the coldest week of the month. The coldest probably week of the year.
Yeah. Well, we're back to it this week. We're gonna talk about the 2015 Christmassacre, aka Secret Santa 2015, not to be confused with like the 2018 Secret Santa, which is a different movie.
Don't confuse them. And also, Jay, I need to raise an important issue on this podcast. I'm not getting paid enough for this shit.
Hey, me neither. But I'll do some research and see if I can I can get you a few J-bucks.
Oh, okay. Good. Well, the company stores are coming back in a big way, Jay.
Oh God.
Hopefully J-bucks are valuable.
Well, let's deck the halls. Released November 28th, 2015, like I said, under Secret Santa. I first heard about it becoming Christmassacre in 2022 when I bought the DVD, having already owned the DVD for Secret Santa. So it showed up and I'm like looking at it and I'm looking at the back of the DVD and I'm like, wait, what?
Wait a minute.
And I go and I pull like the Secret Santa and it's literally word for word the same, all the pictures. And I was like, wait, why is this different? And I think what gets me is the cover for Christmassacre. It's the cover you see on Tubi is very like, it's like a pale child wearing a Santa hat holding an axe.
Yes.
Like not at all what's in the movie. Not that image is nowhere to be seen in the movie.
Well, Jay, it does what I used to call the dollar store DVD effect, which has now become the Tubi / low rent streaming service effect, where they make or commission a piece of art for a movie that has absolutely nothing to do with it to lure you to click on it. And I'm guessing that they did that design because it's kind of reminiscent of like a Silent Night, Deadly Night kind of poster, maybe mixed with like, a Jason style mask. If you glanced at it out the corner of your eye, you'd be like, that looks kind of interesting. And then you click on it, and then Tubi pays them 50 cents.
Well, here's the original poster.
Much better, much more evocative of what the actual movie is.
It's a guy in a ski mask holding a sledgehammer, wearing a Santa suit, not a Santa hat, but wearing a Santa suit. And then there's a present that with like the lid off of it, and inside is like a knife, a pickaxe, a bloody hammer, and like a pair, like a wrench, like a pipe wrench.
Whoa, Jay. This is an indie movie made on a low budget. We have to have a poster that has nothing to do with the movie. This is way too evocative of what the actual content of the movie is.
I know that's my problem. Is let's do what's actually in the.
No. You don't get how to market these movies at all, do you, Jay?
You're right. I know.
When we go to Tubi to market this movie, we have to be able to show them a poster that's going to grab all the skibbity toilet eyes.
Written and directed by Mike McMurrin. We've got let's start with the most important character. We got Keegan Chambers as Carissa.
Oh, my God.
We know her best as Courtney in The Nights Before Christmas.
Getting a little hot under the collar, Jay.
Courtney was, I believe, Nick Ian something Conway's daughter.
Yes.
And once again, the big problem was I couldn't remember if Courtney was his daughter or was his daughter's friend.
Well, Jay, at the end of the day, that's not really that important.
Yeah, but yeah, she's the friend in The Nights Before Christmas. We've got Annette Wozniak as Nicole, Jeff Almond as Dwayne, Brent Baird as Brian, Nikki Caro as Olivia, Tony Nash as Professor Ramsey, Matthew Chisholm as Clay. I don't even know who Clay is. Estrida, I assume that's the guy. Estrida Oza as Phyllis, Alexandra Simpson as May, Andre Becker as Pizza Dude, John Nickel as Webcam Creeper, Rebecca Wise as Jerry, and Brooke Zavitz as Savannah.
Well, Jay, not to spoil anything too much, but one of those people you just listed does not, in fact, get paid enough for the shit that he has to put up with.
Yeah, that is, that's Andre Becker, the pizza dude.
Exactly.
But I was excited to see, normally I go through to see like, oh, when will we see any of these people again? I'm like, well, somebody who was in The Nights Before Christmas, somebody who acted alongside the patron saint of this podcast.
Yes.
Simon Phillips. Oh, what?
Blessed be his name.
She deserves top billing on Horror for the Holidays.
Exactly.
Tagline, these presents are going to be killer.
If only they had included that on the alternate poster, I probably would have clicked on it faster.
IMDb budget of $6,000 Canadian.
Oof.
So that's like what? That's $7.36.
I was going to say, yeah, that's like $10 American. It's not good.
Filmed in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, God.
Where to watch, Tubi. You can buy DVDs of this.
So not only did they have to make this movie on a shoestring budget, they also had to do it on the frozen plain of Tartarus that is Canada.
I mean, hey, at least there's snow on the ground. More than we can say for some of the movies we've watched.
That's true.
Personal experience, Jeff? Was it just...
Actually, before we ever got into this, I believe I did see this movie in that $5 movie bin at Walmart. I recognized that poster, the original poster, because I was like, maybe. And then I saw something else, and I was like, nah. And that was the last memory I had of it. And that came rushing back to me when I saw the original poster when I was looking this movie up.
Outstanding. I saw the trailer at some point. Years ago, I saw the trailer. And I was like, that looks like a lot of fun. The trailer is great. I don't know if you watched the trailer.
No, I did not.
This movie tries to be, I think, an homage to like 80s slashers. I think they pretty much say as much.
Yeah.
And whether it succeeds or fails is up for debate, but
I think it succeeds, and not, I mean, leaving aside the fact that it was done on a really small budget, I think a lot of people have like rose-tinted glasses looking back at some of the production value of some of the 80s slashers that they love. I think this is pretty close approximation.
But the trailer is so evocative of the 80s. There's so much, like it's got the deep trailer voice.
That's good, Jay.
And it looked like so much fun. I was like, I've got to watch this movie. So I went and I found a DVD copy, ordered the copy of Secret Santa at the time, watched it, and then, like I said, and then wound up buying Christmassacre, the exact same movie, but with a different title.
In a world where a movie is released with two titles, Jay Loxton will buy them both.
Thinking they're different movies. What should I have read the synopsis maybe of Christmassacre? Sure. But also... that cover has nothing to do with this movie. Why would I even think it's the same movie?
Well, Jay.
This is like a Pranks and Dorm That Dripped Blood situation. I would have bought Pranks back in the day and then wound up with 2 copies of Dorm That Dripped Blood.
I mean, can you imagine the days back when there was no way to like look this kind of stuff up, and this would just become like a local legend between you and your friends, where it's like, yeah, dude, I swear it's the exact same movie.
I've seen this. All right. Well, let's. You got anything else? Or are you ready to dive in?
I just wanted to. Originally, they were doing a campaign for $30,000, as far as I could tell. Only ended up getting 6, and still made the movie. And I think, honestly, probably did the best they could.
Yeah,
with what they got.
Oh no, absolutely. I think they did. I think they did a great job. Well,
Oh, yes, I wanted to just point that out. This movie was originally more ambitious, and I think you could still see kind of echoes of that in the story and stuff that I think probably would have been better fleshed out if it had met its funding goal.
like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like Two Front Teeth good, which is a smaller budget but an even more wild, crazy movie.
Yes.
But for $6,000, this is a pretty dang good movie. We've got Carissa and Jerry. They're walking down a snowy street after getting kicked out of the bar that they're leaving because Carissa puked on and then tried to make out with the bouncer. After
Wrong order for that.
after getting Carissa inside their house and getting puked on herself, Jerry goes to her room, gets undressed, takes a shower, and when she comes back, she finds a gift wrapped with like black paper with Christmas lights on it. And sitting on her bed, she opens the tag, and in like a scrawled handwriting, it says, "Merry Christmas from your Secret Santa."
Dun, dun, dun.
Inside it, Jerry finds a power drill. She leaves to go grab a hair straightener, and she's kind of like yelling down the hall, "Hey, is anyone trying to play a prank on me?" And Olivia pokes her head out, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Nothing, don't worry. Someone left a present for me. It's nothing, don't worry about it."
Yeah, I really liked that part where she yelled down the hallway, "Hey, is this Pranks? The movie Pranks? Is this happening to me?"
Is this one of those pranks I've heard so much about?
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. And then she comes back in to find the present missing. And then she gets grabbed from behind by a guy wearing a black ski mask who puts a pillow over her head to kind of muffle the screaming, and then power drills her face, pulling out an eyeball.
Yes, she gets drilled, but not in the way she was probably hoping
Yeah,
for.
but also power drill kill, just like in Pranks, a.k.a. the Door of the Drip Blood title card.
It's almost like they're referencing something in this movie, Jay.
There's a couple other references later on.
But good alternate title for this movie would be Chekhov's Present.
Good alternate title would be Pranks.
Yes, another movie named Pranks with another alternate title.
The next morning, Carissa wakes up hungover. We see some carolers walking down the street. They get splashed by snow runoff.
I hope nobody just destroys any one of their precious objects later, Jay.
Nicole is in her room doing secret cam girl stuff.
Oh, no.
And she is hiding she's hiding this from her boyfriend, Brian.
This is before being an OnlyFans model was popular.
Yep. We see Dwayne passed out at his keyboard, presumably was studying. And we get flashbacks of him slacking off during History 403.
I don't need to study.
He then attempted to do a 3-day cram session with lots of coffee and snorting coke. But that doesn't appear to be going very well.
What, Jay? That's insane.
His alarm clock sounds, and he rushes out the door.
I'm sure he's going to do just fine on that test, Jay.
We cut to Professor Ramsey's office, where he is engaged in a relationship with one of his students, Olivia, who was the girl who talked to Jerry in the house the night before, because they live in the same house.
What? That's crazy.
It's almost like all these characters are connected.
No way.
Carissa goes looking for her hair straightener from the night before, finding it in Jerry's room, but unaware that under that bed is Jerry's dead body with her eyeball drilled out.
No.
She then calls a guy on the phone to like wish him good luck on his big final. And that's Brian, Nicole's boyfriend.
Oh, no.
And then we get a POV shot of somebody watching Carissa from her closet, a la Black Christmas. Lots of POV to be reminiscent of Black Christmas in this movie.
Love a good POV, Jay. You know
Real fast, can we the TikTok generation? I'm gonna call it that. I like TikTok. I scroll TikTok when I'm bored. The TikTok generation's desire to misunderstand what POV means. POV, and then it's like the camera POV, you're talking to your friend, but
it's just them acting out a scene of you talking to your friend,
right? Like it's like you're the POV is supposed to be you're holding the camera and it's what you're seeing, not you watching someone doing the thing.
Yes, that's called watching somebody do something, aka what we used to call watching a video.
Yeah. Olivia and Carissa get ready for the party and talk about how Jerry's been missing. Hey, kind of like Black Christmas, where one of the girls is missing.
I bet she's probably getting drilled somewhere.
Dwayne gets done with the final and goes to lay down in his dorm room just for the fire alarm to get pulled.
Yeah.
Been there.
Classic.
That happened. I literally went, I can't count the number of times that happened to me. Like, oh, I'm exhausted. I just want to take a nap.
Yeah. At a certain point, you're just like, I'll just die in the fire. I don't care.
While Nicole is starting another cam show, someone tells her that someone is watching from the window. But she kind of turns around and doesn't see him. But we know that person was there because we also got a POV shot.
POV, you're doing OnlyFans and some creep is watching you through the window.
Dwayne, still trying to sleep, runs into the carolers from earlier and smashes the bell that they rang in his face, and then has like a meltdown, like a public meltdown in front of them.
The bell.
He arrives at the girl's house, and they put him in Jerry's room to get some sleep. But and they also note that it smells.
Oh boy,
I can't imagine why. That can't be the dead body decomposing under the bed.
Smells like somebody's been getting drilled in here for days, Jay.
We see the guy in the ski mask wrapping another present with a meat cleaver inside of it.
Oh, boy. Is that the implausible present? I couldn't remember which one it was, but I remember one that when it comes out, it's way too big for the box that it was in.
Oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, that
It's
could
one of these items.
I don't think it was the meat cleaver. We'll have to see.
Maybe it was the carving knife. I can't remember.
Carissa goes and talks to Brian, who admits that sleeping with her was a mistake. And basically she's like, well, I'm going to have to tell Nicole. I'm a good Catholic girl. Like, the only way I'm going to be able to be absolved of, like, forgiven for my transgressions is to confess. And he's like, is there any way I can keep you quiet? And then we cut to, like, his wallet sitting on the table and her walking off with, like, a bags full of stuff. We get more POV watching the house as a pizza gets delivered. This is Jeff's favorite character.
Oh, yeah.
The delivery guy then sees a dude in a hoodie creeping around. He chases the guy off and then gets in his car just for the ski mask killer to emerge from the back seat and slit his throat.
You know, Jay, it's sad when you see a man who doesn't get paid enough for this shit die in the line of duty.
Also, I wanted to note it was like $22.78 for one pizza.
I know, right?
That better be damn fucking good pizza.
That better be the best pizza I've ever tasted.
And then they never eat the pizza.
God, I hate that in movies. When people order food and don't eat it, as a fat guy, Jay, that really pisses me off.
I hear you.
But, you know, one of the things I really, really despise about this movie is that it does not linger on this pizza delivery man's story at all, Jay.
Where was he know from? More about the pizza delivery
Why
man?
was the pizza so expensive?
Everyone arrives for the party, and Olivia puts out hors d'oeuvres, and they taste terrible. And I assume the joke is because Nicole had used the vegetables in one of her cam girl streams. I assume that is the other possibility is that Olivia is a terrible cook.
Yes,
but which I mean I think kind of gets fleshed out because like she then burns the casserole she's making. Like it's such a weird thing.
If only we had, say, I don't know, a $22 pizza we could eat instead of this garbage.
Right. Dwayne assumes Olivia is with Professor Ramsey shows up. It's revealed to everybody that Olivia and Professor Ramsey have been dating.
Oh my god.
For whatever reason, I just wanted to note this because I thought it was funny. Dwayne assumes that Olivia is with Professor Ramsey because of the blazer that he wears. He's like, chicks dig the tweed blazer with the leather patches on the sleeve.
Obviously. Why do you think professors wear it?
While everyone is doing party festivities, we see a bag of presents underneath the tree get swapped out with a different bag of presents by a gloved hand.
I'm sure that won't come into the plot at all.
The creepy guy in the hoodie somehow gets into the house and starts sniffing Nicole's panties.
Huh. So it was all an elaborate plot to get at the cam girl he's been watching. This feels very modern, Jay.
They all hand out Secret Santa presents, and it's in the same paper as Jerry's present, the black with the Christmas lights on it.
Bear in mind that it's now been like 40 minutes.
Brian gets a meat cleaver, and it is then like kind of talked about how, oh, that's not what I got you. And then Olivia gets really mad. This isn't how you're supposed to play Secret Santa. And like not understanding that this isn't the present that I bought him. I was his Secret Santa. Brian and Nicole then go and they talk about Nicole's job. as a cam girl, which causes Brian to leave.
Ah, yes.
Brian goes outside, I think to smoke or vent or something, and Carissa follows him outside, and they shit talk her for a bit. Carissa goes in to make out with him, but Brian goes back inside, rebuffing her to talk to Nicole, and he tells her that he's okay with it. They go to open more presents, and Carissa gets a gross old hairdryer, which Nicole says wasn't the gift that she gave her, which once again pisses Olivia off.
I bet that hairdryer will totally work too, Jay.
They decide to open all the presents, finding gardening shears and electric carver. And I think maybe there was 2 other presents that just didn't get opened, and we just don't see the reveal of.
I believe it's the garden shears that when they hold them up or whatever, it's way too big for the box.
Now that you say that, yes, I think you're absolutely right. We will learn that. I'll reveal what I assume the other 2 presents are later. And then it cuts away to the hoodie guy sniffing panties and watching Nicole's videos in someone else's room on someone else's laptop. And then he gets stabbed in the head by the ski mask killer.
Oh. And when he drops his phone, you can see him watching the very first stream Andrew Tate ever did.
The carolers arrive and Carissa screams at them, and then goes and hooks up with Dwayne while Olivia turns around and watches the carolers sing. But then when they ask for a donation, she closes the door in their face because she's a college kid. She has to eat.
Exactly. I mean, if pizzas are $22, Jay, I can't afford to be giving away money.
Dwayne fails to perform, let's say.
I just want to make a quick note that it was awesome of The Rock to do a movie that is this low budget.
So Carissa leaves. Olivia goes to use the bathroom just to get electric carved by the ski mask killer in the gut, who just kind of appears in the shower behind, was laying in the tub. She walks in, stands up, moves the frosted glass, and then turns on the electric carver and stabs her in the gut.
Yes. I mean, how else would that be done, Jay? He doesn't have teleportation powers like Jason.
Ramsey weirdly puts pressure on Nicole to open her gift. And you should really open it. You should see what's in there. You should really open that gift. And then Brian comes in and he just completely drops it. It was such a weird. Yeah. I assume it was to make him a red herring. Maybe, I don't know.
Hard to say.
Carissa goes to take a bath, and Dwayne is finally able to get a hard on, just for
where was this when I needed it?
Just for him to get sheared in the dick. His dick gets sheared off. And then while Carissa is in the tub, the killer walks in, plugs in the hairdryer, and then goes to toss it in the tub just for it to basically the cord did not be long enough. And so it just falls on the ground.
Honestly, one of my favorites is because of the sheer absurdity of it, and me totally picturing if I tried to kill somebody with a hairdryer, I would forget that the cord is only 2 feet long, go to toss it, and then just fail completely.
So then grabs just takes the cord and just bashes her head in with it. Great effect as we watch the blood cover the walls, and she's got this big bludgeon mark on her forehead as her body sinks beneath the bubble bath.
Yes.
Professor Ramsey finds Olivia's body and screams, which alerts Brian and Nicole, who, when they find him, looks like he's the one who killed her. So they run off to go get in Brian's car. But then Nicole sees a butcher knife in his front seat. So she turns around, runs back inside, and locks the door. And then Brian's like, "Hey, let me in. Nicole, you got to get out. You got to let me in. And then the killer just jumps off the front step with the meat cleaver and starts hacking at him. And then decapitates him with the meat cleaver and then just holds up his head in the window as Nicole watches on screaming.
Yes. Nicole, I promise I'm not Jensen Ackles from My Bloody Valentine 3D. It was not me that did it.
That kill, I've been, it's been a long time since I'd seen this movie, and that popped up, and I was like, I've been thinking about that kill for a long time, of the killer just murdering the guy in front of the window and then standing there with and I'm like, man, what a great scene.
I'm going to be thinking about that hairdryer kill probably for the rest of my life, just because it literally flashed up memories of the first couple scary movies in my mind where Ghostface tries to pull off a kill and fails. When he gets in the girls' locker room and they keep slamming the locker door in his face. Very had that energy.
Professor Ramsey,
I didn't kill her, I swear.
asks Nicole what's going on. Didn't kill her, I swear. Just for a ski mask to appear with a screwdriver and shove it through his skull. I assumed that was supposed to be Professor Ramsey's present.
You've been screwed.
We're getting drilled. We're getting screwed.
Oh, man. Amber getting dried out.
Nicole gets ambushed as there are multiple ski mask killers. It's revealed that there's 2 of them.
Oh, no, not again.
She uses a fireplace poker and stabs it through one of their guts. And then gets knocked out by a 3rd one, who is clearly an old lady running over with a ski mask with, I think, 1 hole missing. There's only 1 eye to look through. And it's like weirdly placed in between like the middle of her forehead.
Nah, it's perfect, Jay. It's on perfectly.
I think that was the part when that happened. I just lost it. It is revealed that the killers are the carolers from earlier.
Shouldn't have broke our fucking bell.
Nicole says, I stabbed you. And the guy says, no, you stabbed May, who's like standing there holding her guts, like holding her intestines.
Ow, my guts.
And she wants to kill Nicole. And the guy's like, no, not yet. Nicole asks why they did this. And him and the guy and the older lady spend hours explaining why this happened. It literally, it's like it keeps cutting back to the clock on the stove, and it like starts at midnight, and then it cuts back and it's like 1:08, and then it's like 2:15 or something, and it just keeps going.
Perfect.
As he's just like continuing to explain this, and I got the quote for quotes, but it's that just sent me. And while this is going on, May, the girl who got stabbed with the fireplace poker in the guts, bleeds out.
Yep.
Nicole has grabbed some broken glass, and when they try to make her open her present, she slashes the guy in the face. The older lady then runs up to strangle Nicole, but Nicole was able to get free and grabs a knife, stabbing the old lady in the gut. The guy chases Nicole to her bedroom just to take a big black dildo to the head, which knocks him down. Nicole's able to grab the fireplace poker, and they fight. He stabs her in the gut, but she stabs him in the gut. And then he kind of runs off as police sirens wail in the background, saying,
my guts.
You haven't seen the last of me. He also says, oh, my guts. 1 year later.
Oh, my God.
Nicole gets dropped off by a friend at her new place, and we see the killer sneak in through the window and hides in her closet with a knife as Nicole gets ready to do another cam girl show. He approaches behind to stab her in the head, only for it to be a sex doll instead. And the computer screen has like a Word document open that says, gotcha. Nicole is underneath the bed with a chainsaw. I think that's the present from last year that they wanted her to open. And she chainsaws him in the legs. And then with a Merry Christmas, motherfucker, she decapitates him. Credits roll. End of movie.
Dun, dun, dun.
What a film. What a cinematic masterpiece.
I mean, for $6,000, Jay, I mean, you got to take your hat off to him.
All right, Jeff. Well, where do you want to start for our? Do you got anything before we jump into our categories, or?
You know, Pizza Dude, gone but not forgotten.
Jeff's real star of the movie, Pizza Dude.
And also the enduring mystery of the $22 single pizza that was never eaten by anyone.
You can get one, where did the pizza go? I think that's the biggest question. But 2, you can get a deal like 2 pizzas for like $10 or something like that. Even today,
well,
you can get that
say,
deal.
especially in 2015, man, you probably could have got like 4 pizzas for $20. If you did like that Domino's, $5.99?
Yeah, $5.55 deal or whatever.
But no, buying $22 pizzas. No wonder she has to turn down the carolers.
That better be damn good pizza. That's all I'm saying. That better be the best fucking pizza.
It better be.
All right. Well, anyway.
All right. Anyway,
categories.
Fat guy rant over. Now on to the Christmas spirit.
All right. Christmas spirit. How Christmassy is the movie? How Christmassy are the kills?
I mean, they're all presents. I mean, that lends a Christmas factor to it.
I was gonna say the Secret Santa presents being weapons. I thought was a really neat idea. Even if the kills in particular, they weren't like Christmas based. They were. The idea of them was based around Christmas.
Yes, I was gonna say I'm giving it a little Christmas credit for that. Plus the turkey carver. I mean, that's a good Thanksgiving and Christmas one.
Yep.
So,
movie. I mean, fairly. There's snow on the ground. That's more than you can say for most.
I mean, they're getting together to do a gift exchange. I mean, It's not the most Christmassy thing I've ever seen, but it gets it done.
There's a Christmas tree in the house. There are some Christmas lights on the street. There's not a ton of them, but you do get like some Christmas decorations around.
Let's just put it this way. It's probably at least twice as Christmassy as the American Scream.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. The American Scream, which I think had maybe a wreath and some holly.
Yes.
And then snow on the ground.
Barely.
I mean, Jeff, I've been itching. Let's do our favorite quotes. Let's do Christmas carols.
All right. You want to start or me?
You can get started. I got to pull them up.
Nicole, I would have killed myself if my hands weren't fucking tied.
I think that is by far after the 2-hour rant.
The explanation of why this was happening.
That is by far the most stupid fucking reason to kill anybody. You could have given me the Cliff's Note. You couldn't have given me the Cliff's Notes version. 2 hours. Jesus Christ. I would have killed myself by now if my hands weren't tied. What a line.
Of course, my immortal favorite character, Pizza Dude. I'm not being paid enough for this shit. Last line.
Dwayne, after failing to perform, he yells from the other room, "I just need a minute, Carissa. Just give it up, Dwayne. Certainly can't get it up."
Oh, this one is connected to that. When he finally does get his erection. Oh, now you decide to show up.
Nicole, Liv, you wrapped the presents, honey. Do you think you made a mistake? Or were you drinking and rapping again? Which implies that this isn't the first time it's happened.
Multiple times, yes. I also have an Olivia quote. An electric carver. How thoughtful.
Carissa, you wouldn't happen to have a Percocet on you. Brian, just black tar heroin.
Another Olivia quote when she slams the door in the caroler's face. I'm a student. Gotta eat. Jay mentioned earlier.
Thanks for the present. Really came in handy. Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
Yes.
Nicole, as she revs her chainsaw.
Yes, I was gonna say I had chainsaw rev. Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Oh, and of course Jay's favorite character, Clay, when he gets stabbed. Well played.
Clay, classic Clay.
Yeah, Jay's favorite.
I don't think they ever mentioned that was his name in the movie.
I had to literally go look up the quote to figure out who it was.
All right, then my last one. It's a long one. This is the opening.
Yes.
This is the opening exchange of the movie. What the hell? Or why the hell are we leaving so early, Carissa? Because you got us kicked out. That was Jerry. Carissa, we got kicked out. Jerry, no, not we. You got kicked out. Carissa, why? Jerry, because the bouncer didn't like it too much when you threw up all over him. Carissa, hey, I tried to make up for that. Jerry, I don't think making out with him right after you puked up your stomach lining was a very good idea. Carissa, I just don't think he was into blondes.
Yeah, I'm sure that was it.
That's my last one.
But I mean, also not being into Keegan Chambers, I don't know about that, Jay. Seems a little far-fetched.
I mean, she's a star of The Nights Before Christmas.
Exactly. I mean,
one of the best movies we've ever seen.
Probably like in our pantheon of best people ever.
The cinematic masterpiece of our time, a Simon Phillips movie.
You're goddamn right, Jay.
Speaking of our boy Simon Phillips, Saturday Bite Fever.
I was gonna say,
man,
let's talk about that.
It's gonna be a spiritual sequel to Silent Bite. It's a maybe disco New Year's vampire movie.
We can only hope.
I'm so excited. All right. Anyway,
on to the next category.
Christmas wrapping, set costumes, effects, etc.
If effects quite impressive, I would say the creativity in the kills and the execution of the kills pretty impressive on such a low budget.
I agree. It felt like a real Mother Krampus 2 sleigh ride.
Yes, it gave me a little bit of like White Doomsday vibes too, like doing a lot with a little.
I liked the house setting. It felt very much like a small house that's being rented off campus.
Yes.
It probably is, and it also felt like that.
Yes, they did a good job with that, for sure. The Christmas decorations were around, like nothing crazy, but it was there.
Yeah.
I thought the design of the Christmas presents for the titular Secret Santa, Jay, were done pretty well.
I like that it was all the same paper.
Yeah.
I liked that it wasn't creepy paper, but I liked that it was all noticeable.
Yes, it stood out as something out of the ordinary, and I liked the you mentioned earlier the creepy handwriting. I thought was well done.
The ski masks were an interesting choice.
I mean, it's worth it for that last gag alone, Jay.
I mean, I agree with that. I think my biggest thought was like, at least buy the Santa suit then, because the ski mask is on the front cover of the DVD of the original DVD. Like, then at least have them all wearing Santa coats or something like that.
Yeah.
They can't be that expensive.
No, I was just saying, I think that's something they probably could have pulled off.
And so that was a little bit of a disappointment. I was like, I would have at least like that. And instead, it's just they're wearing ski masks and then just running around in like a turtleneck.
Yeah. Well, Jay.
Nothing more intimidating than a guy in a turtleneck.
Well, Jay, you can't always get what you want.
But if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. What you need is a little Christmassacre.
Or, you get with the Wolfman instead.
Well, Jeff, rounding out here, broken bulb, brilliant bulb. One thing you want to fix, one thing you want to praise.
I'll start with the fix. My broken bulb is the editing, which I'm guessing probably came down to the reduced budget. But some of these scenes feel like they linger on just a little bit too long. I think they could have been trimmed up by like a good editor, and this probably would have flowed a lot better. Because there's a lot of like awkward moments where the scene is over and they're just kind of holding on it, and it's like, okay, so this is the part where you would cut that off.
I noticed there were a couple moments where like that too, where I'm like, that felt very amateurish, and like, I mean, I was also an amateur film videographer at one point in time, and I'm just like, yeah, just trim that by like 2 seconds.
Yes, it was nothing like major, but it started to add up over the course of the movie. I'm like, okay, they could have cut there, they could have cut there, they could have cut there,
which I think really, I think really slows down the movie.
Yes,
a bit.
It does, especially because this is a slow burn movie.
I kind of agree with you on that. I think honestly, like, just really slowed down. There were some just moments where it was like, maybe have something else going on, maybe sew a little bit more, move some of the stuff around or something, like just to have kind of keep the tension going a little bit longer.
This is what I call a hangout horror movie, where the story doesn't really get driven forward by anything in particular. It's just people hanging out and then stuff happens. And I think that works sometimes, especially like because for like amateur actors, I think they all did a pretty good job representing like their stereotypical character. And some of them even went a little bit above and beyond that. But
Pizza Dude,
like, yes, Pizza Dude, of course, was amazing. I mean,
he probably was just a pizza guy.
Yeah.
Like what they called.
Nicole, I think she did a good job of doing the dual, like, I'm a cam girl, but then I'm also a regular person off camera. Which apparently she didn't even know what that was before.
I read that too. Yeah, didn't know what a cam girl was before starting.
So did an exceptional job based on that. But yes, it's one of those hangout movies, and I think if the editing had been a little bit tighter, I don't think you would have noticed the drag as much.
That she does a thing where like she wears wigs and she kind of tries to disguise her personality, or disguise her voice, and so like she'll be doing like Russian accent,
yes,
and stuff like that, and then I think at one point the pizza guy maybe he's like, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" And Nicole's like, "No, I just have one of those faces, I guess."
Holy shit, Jay, do that Russian accent again.
The pizza guy.
Is that Craven the Hunter over there?
It's me, Craven the Hunter.
You sound like Russell Crowe's Russian accent, Jay. We are the Russians.
Oh, what a movie.
We are the Kravanovs.
That's still my favorite thing was when the guy who was Rhino just made the weirdest noise for some reason. He just... and it's like, why did you put that in your movie?
Because, Jay, it shows how crazy he is.
All right.
But yes, on to my brilliant bulb, which I kind of touched on a little bit. But the acting job that everybody did in the movie, despite not being like super professional, well-experienced actors, I think a lot of them did a really good job. And I mean, of course, we had an alumni from one of the most illustrious horror franchises of all time. Was that before or after this, Jay?
I think this was before. I think this was
her first thing.
Or certainly her first Christmas horror movie.
One of her first things, yeah. But I mean, you can already see she's going to be a breakout star.
Yep. Yeah, you watch this and then you watch The Nights Before Christmas. You're like, she's made it. Yes. She's made it to the big times.
So great. And to be shoulder to shoulder with the Simon Phillips.
What a time to be alive. If we could only be so lucky.
I'm hoping he shows up at something we show up at someday. And that way we could permanently creep him out forever and he'll never want to talk to us again.
For my brilliant bulb thing I want to praise, I loved the POV usage, like the 1974 Black Christmas. I liked the little homages. I liked the power drill kill, like, and you know, and I know you're sitting there thinking, like, Jay, for the 2019 Black Christmas, you complained about all the and it's because they hit us over the head with them too much.
Yes.
This one went, hey, we're a Christmas horror movie. Here's a little sprinkling of Christmas horror, like, homage
To multiple franchises too, not just one, beating you over the head with it over and over again.
It's the same. It's Terrifier 3 does the same thing, where they just sprinkle in a little bit of Christmas horror.
You know, my favorite POV, Jay, is when Nicole pays the pizza guy. POV, you pay the pizza guy.
The TikTok generation.
Yeah.
All right, well, Jeff, let's move on to our final rating. Every episode of Horror for the Holidays, we rate our movie on one of three categories. Is it ho ho hilarious? Is it seasonally scary? Or is it you will be sorry? I think everybody knows, right?
It's ho ho hilarious.
It's ho ho hilarious.
I mean, it's like, I would say, gives you the vibe of, like, if somebody tried to make a scary movie style, like, parody of an 80s, like, Christmas slasher. I think that pretty much encapsulates what this movie's trying to do. And it does a pretty good job of it for what it... I mean, it didn't have a lot to work with. They got less than a third of what they'd hoped for, and not even in real money. I mean, let's not forget that. We're dealing with Canadian money, filming in Canada. Disgusting.
I was like, I'm like, I would give this maybe like a weak ho ho hilarious. Like, it's not... I don't think that enough of the jokes land. I think at some points they thought they were funnier than they were.
Yes, it's a mix. Yeah, definitely hit or miss. But I don't think it does enough. It doesn't do enough right to be seasonally scary, but it doesn't do enough wrong to be you'll be sorry.
And you know, it's slow in a bit in the middle, like in the early middle there. There are some, like, very obviously poorly ADR'd lines in a couple scenes.
What are you talking about, Jay?
And some of the jokes, like I said, don't land. But I think the kills are great. I think the premise is awesome. I think the jokes that do land are fucking hilarious.
Yes.
And yeah, just overall a fun movie that, like, you watch with friends. You put on, you know, something to just kind of goof out and goof off and watch with friends. And, you know, and for $6,000 Canadian, they made a fun movie.
I mean, yeah, you can't really beat it for that. And I mean, honestly, I would like to see what this group would do if they actually got the 30,000 they were looking for.
This is another one of those examples. You and I have talked about it before. Man, some of the crap we've seen with big budgets, give that budget to something new and unique like this, and, like, let's see what they would have done with that budget, or let's see if someone had taken this idea and given it given it maybe a better director, but given it that budget or something like that.
Let's do a little teaser here, Jay. Imagine if somebody had given the between, I'm guessing, $3 to $5 million that they gave Osgood Perkins to make the monkey to these people instead.
I mean, yeah, it could have been a vastly, or imagine Osgood Perkins directed this movie, just wasn't allowed to write it. Like,
now you're cooking with gas, Jay.
One thing I do want to say, it does have that artifacting, the grainy artifacting across the screen, because it's supposed to be very 80s. Didn't work for me. I do want to point that out.
It got obtrusive, I would say. It was a little too much. I think they could have done it a little bit lighter, and it would have been better.
And I was thinking about that in comparison to A Cadaver Christmas, which also had the grainy artifacting, and that just felt way less obvious in A Cadaver Christmas. Like, it would occasionally pop up in A Cadaver Christmas, and you would be like, oh, like, I forgot they were doing that. And this one, it kind of feels obvious.
I just looked up the budget of the monkey, Jay.
Uh-oh.
Throw it out there. What do you think?
Well, you said $5 million, so that makes me think, and your reaction makes me think it's way more than that. I'm going to say like 50.
No, it was 11.
Okay.
But yeah, basically double what I thought. And where did that money go, Jay? We're going to talk about that.
We'll talk.
Spoiler: Stocking Stuffer the monkey is coming up.
We'll talk about that here very shortly. But Jeff, did you stop to think that we're big dumb idiots and we're getting clothes for Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Jay, we don't know anything about anything. Obviously, all these internet edgelords know better than us.
1 out of 10. Extremely awful movie. OMG. OMG, guys. This was one of the worst movies I have ever seen. 3 exclamation points.
Oh, boy.
There is no plot whatsoever. Well, and there is.
There definitely is a plot, yeah.
It is like a train of consciousness nightmare that just goes on and on. For being billed as a comedy, it sorely lacks any humorous moments.
Oh, God.
The lighthearted moments are severely lame, and the single good gag scene is so poorly delivered that it elicits a groan rather than a chuckle. I wonder what they thought the one good gag was. I realized that the total budget was $6,000 Canadian, about $7.36 in the United States. But everything is so amateurish that it makes every moment utterly cringeworthy too. Utterly cringeworthy. Also, man, that's where I got the $7.36 joke from earlier. From this review that I had read. Wow. Hey, reviewer, you gave me one good joke at least. To say that this is a tribute to the 1980s slasher films is an insult to 99% of such films.
Oh, my God.
I had high hopes for a fun time in watching this movie. It is a fun time. Those hopes were dashed completely. 4 exclamation points.
You know,
all capital letters.
From the way you sound in your review, I don't think you actually were ever going to have a good time with this movie, no matter how good it was.
No, I don't think they were either.
You got any more, Jay, or is that what you put?
I've got one more.
Okay. This one drew my eye because it was not a low score, like not a 1 or a 2. It was a 3 out of 10 on IMDb. Hamstrung by a non-existent budget. This was titled Christmassacre on Prime, and it should not be confused with the 2018 Adam Marcus directed comedy horror Secret Santa on the same platform. Regardless, this is a very amateur slasher comedy. And considering this film's budget was apparently expired food stamps, some of the dialogue is actually pretty funny, and the quasi-professional actors deliver relatively decent performances. Unfortunately, Jay, the story is trite, the practical effects look silly, and the budgetary constraints detract from virtually every scene. There's a sense that the people involved in this production have real talent, but there wasn't the time or money available to develop their ideas into something entertaining or even coherent. So basically, your standard fart sniffing, I didn't like it because it seemed low budget to me review.
That was the review I was going to read. There are some other bad ones, but those were the 2 that really stood out.
I was going to say, I think I have a third one. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. This was somebody who apparently bought it by mistake on Amazon Prime.
Uh-oh. They bought the other one.
1 star. Rented this piece of garbage by accident. Thought it was a real movie my friend told me about. Turns out it was crap. No story. Effects were garbage. Didn't even make it through 20 minutes. And I was like, didn't even make it through 20 minutes. Why are you leaving a review?
Also, there's a really solid kill in those first 20 minutes.
No, Jay, it's garbage. Everything is garbage. Anyway, tried to get a refund, but Prime said since I had already watched more than 15 minutes, they wouldn't give me one. And that's apparently warranting a 1-star review of the movie.
Jesus. Oh, I did find one more. This one was short. There were a couple longer ones, but I'm like, I'm not going to read all that.
Nah.
Indie Yuletide horrors, 4 out of 10. Secret Santa is another in the overcrowded market of indie horrors with a Yuletide setting. I don't. Okay.
Okay.
This one suffers. I said stuffers from typically underwhelming writing and bad acting, but the rest isn't too bad as genre standards go. It's one of those wannabe grindhouse productions with fake print damage, but the 1980s era looking film stock makes it look pretty good. I also appreciate that the music is nice and creepy and provides a neat backdrop to the otherwise overly familiar action. Disagree. I could have actually used a bit of like creepy Christmas music or something, but that's just me.
Bonus review, Jay. Do you think I would just let you guys off with an easy review like that to end this with? No, I went through the cesspool of internet movie reviews, Jay. I went to Letterboxd. Started diving through pretentious assholes' reviews until I found this 1-star review. Giving this a single star feels like a great disservice to all prior rotten films that earned that dubious rating.
Oh, I've heard this before.
An abject failure that is an embarrassing black mark on the permanent record of all parties involved. You take that shit back.
Yeah,
anybody involved in one of our favorite movies could never have a permanent black mark on her record.
Yeah, if nothing else, Keegan escapes without a black mark. She's in Nights Before Christmas.
Exactly. Don't make us find you.
We will.
We will. We know you. Except Andre Becker, whose unsophisticated synth score left me waxing nostalgic for my 80s Dagulet, Honolulu Blue Adidas shell tops, and Coco Bolo nunchaku momentarily. Garbage! Exclamation point. 52 people like that.
Oh boy.
But yes, you should thank me, viewers, for going on to Letterboxd, where all the pretentious assholes post their reviews like they're gold.
All right. Well, Jeff, where do we want to put the three carolers on our naughty list?
They're gonna have to be pretty low, Jay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they get beaten out by the kid from Better Watch Out.
Yeah, I don't think they could hang with that.
I'm like, I don't know how far down these people need to go, but I think they go down pretty far.
Yeah,
I think they would lose to. I don't remember if.
I don't know. I think if they combined their forces, they could probably beat like Santa Claus with the rakes.
Maybe they could beat Santa. You're right. I think they could probably beat Santa Claus.
So somewhere around that level.
I think Spencer, if you're making that naughty list, comprehensive list, I know you're not. Don't worry about it, buddy. Gotta make sure you put him on there.
Yeah, we know you have a real job, Spencer. We don't expect you to do that.
Well, it's time for us to clean out our email inbox in a little segment we like to call
Garbage Day. Huh? No.
Well, Jeff, we haven't heard back from our friend B. Tolentino from Jun Group.
It's almost like they don't want us to group our Juns.
And I know you thought, well, man, if that's the fact, then we're just not going to hear from another person. Here's Alex Sanfilippo from team@podmatch.com.
Oh boy.
Hey, congrats on your success with Horror for the Holidays. You've already released more episodes than most podcasters ever do. High five.
Yes.
We did it.
We did it.
Which is amazing. I'd love to support your show by listening.
Really?
Can you send me a link to one of your favorite episodes? No. How about you just listen, dude?
You know what? We should do it, Jay. Send him a link to the American Scream.
Just send him a link to the movie, The American Scream.
Don't send him the review. Send him a link to the movie.
On my end, I created a free data-driven quiz that helps podcasters reach their goals, and it tells you which of the 12 podcaster personality types you are.
Oh boy.
I don't want to fill this out because I worry it's going to
steal all your data.
Yeah, but it'd be really funny, so we could know what to fill this out as a stocking stuffer. We're not going to.
Yeah.
I'm the software savvy savant. I'd love for you to take the quiz, and when you send me your recent favorite episode, let me know which personality type you got too. Here's the quiz. By the way, it's 100% free. No paywalls, no upsells. If there's anything I can do to be helpful, let me know. Everything I do is listed below. Glad to be connected. Alex Sanfilippo, the truth about podcasting industry. I publicly share my download stats here. Helpful things for podcast hosts. P.S. We just launched a podcast network and we're looking for shows to join. Here it is. And then it's blah, blah, blah. To join network button has all the details. We're not going to join. We're already part of a great network called the Christmas Podcast Network.
We're already happily part of a podcast network.
We've got another email, though.
Oh, no.
From our listener, Robert, my friend, who lives here that I watch wrestling with. Oh, Captain, my Captain. What a boon for American culture to have another Captain American movie. What a pleasure to watch a movie that didn't rely on Marvel snark to make itself funny and enjoyable. Fantastic follow-up to the Deadpool-style storytelling, too. It was fun to see them return to making an espionage thriller like The Winter Soldier, which I've heard that. I've heard it's very Winter Soldier-y, which is probably one of my favorite Marvel movies.
It's kind of Winter Soldier-y.
Brave New World is only an hour and a half, and you feel like like you lived a week. Concise storytelling is good. Sam Wilson isn't Steve Rogers, and Anthony Mackie might not be Chris Evans. But I left Brave New World feeling more hopeful than I have in a while, and that's what Captain America is supposed to do. That might not be a horror movie, but put it on the Independence Day movie list. Haha. That's from my buddy Robert.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, one of the things that stuck out to me most in the movie was, well, one, I already talked about the charisma vacuum that is Anthony Mackie that sucks in all light around him like a black hole. But, that's not the biggest problem with the movie.
I don't know if you mentioned that on the podcast.
Oh, we might have been talking about that before. But yes, of all the people they could have picked to take up the mantle of Captain America, I think he's probably done the worst job out of anybody. His sidekick that's becoming the new Falcon is much better than he is and more charismatic. But no, the thing that got to me the most was the obvious bending over backwards to make sure that they didn't do anything offensive to China in hopes that people in China will like these movies, which, spoiler alert, they don't. And they will never. But
yeah, that's been happening with a lot of the Marvel movies, right?
But yes, no, they've gone as far as to, so we're competing with an Asian nation, Jay, as part of one of the main plot threads in the movie. The leader's trying to get us to tensions with an Asian nation that would, rival America's power. Can you guess what that nation is?
Madripoor.
No.
Oh.
Japan.
Okay.
They can't do China because obviously that would offend Chinese audiences, Jay, and then they're not going to be able to sell their movie there.
Well, isn't there that fake lady in Iron Man 3?
Yes.
Who only appears in the Chinese version of Iron Man 3?
Yes. Why do they continually bend over backwards for a market that wants nothing to do with these movies?
And yeah, why would they? They've got their own movies.
Yes.
I've heard that animated movie that came out. I've heard it's great.
Yeah. No, they've got their own growing video game industry, their own growing movie industry. They're not really interested in American slop anymore. And I think studios need to probably wake up to that fact because it also plays really dumb in America.
You did say, though, that you did enjoy the 20 minutes of Harrison Ford as the
Yes.
Red Hulk.
No, Harrison Ford was actually very compelling as the Red Hulk, and just as General Ross trying to repair his relationship with Betty. It's really good. I mean, I wish they could have got Liv Tyler to walk on for more than 2 seconds at the end. That probably would have been good. But I'm guessing she probably wasn't that interested. And they probably had to pay her like $1 million to get her to do that.
Well, Jeff, I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking, damn, we don't have to eat anything. But you know what? We're recording this. It's 6 o'clock at night. I haven't had dinner. I brought some snacks.
Oh, one more thing, Jay, before we move on to these snacks and in reference to Captain America. You know what they did? They had the balls to not just do a Liv Tyler cameo, but they got Bucky Barnes to walk on for 5 seconds and be like, "You're doing a good thing here, Sam." Don't worry, it's not totally me that should have been Captain America. Because, I'm like an actual super soldier. Which that actually comes up in the movie, too. That he still hasn't taken the super soldier serum. And then when he's getting his ass kicked by the Red Hulk, he's like, "I really should have taken that super soldier serum." And it's like, yeah, you probably should have.
Hilarious.
But yeah. No, yes, Bucky walks on, and apparently he's going to be a senator now. An unstable war criminal is now going to be a senator. So nothing strange.
How's that different than regular life? All right, we got some
late night collisions.
Doritos late night collisions, loaded taco and nacho cheese.
Oh boy.
We got Red Bull Spring Edition, grapefruit and blossom.
Oh no, not blossom.
Maya Bialik, what are you doing here? I'm what's her name in Big Bang Theory.
At least there's no undomesticated berries I'm gonna have to deal with here.
And then we're gonna get a little tropical.
Oh no.
We got tropical 7-Up, which kind of looks like dehydrated piss.
I was gonna say, Jay, have you been drinking enough water?
And we got sour watermelon Mike and Ike's.
Ooh. I don't think, Jay. I think you need to drink more.
All right, well let's grab a couple of these Doritos collisions.
Okay, I guess. It's as if two flavors were colliding in my mouth, Jay. One of nacho cheese and one of loaded taco.
So are they supposed to be different? Mm-hmm. Like, is it supposed to be two different Doritos in the bag?
Yeah.
I think I only got loaded taco ones.
I mean, it's good.
I think it's very tasty.
Yes, I think that's the idea. It's supposed to be half and half.
That's good. I certainly the loaded taco ones are delicious.
Solid. It's going to be good for the ride home.
All right. Purple can for the spring edition. Smells like grapefruit.
Smells like blossom.
Maya Bialik, what are you doing? I'm the same joke. I already made
Smells so good.
As a child, I really didn't like grapefruit. I was talking with a friend about that the other day. and like really didn't like the taste of grapefruit. Grapefruit flavored drinks are fantastic.
I have noticed that. I wasn't a very big fan. Funny grapefruit story. My dad bought a crate of fruit from one of those guys who sells fruit from Texas that goes door to door around town. I don't know if you ever had that happen.
I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, he got a crate of oranges and a crate of grapefruit. Well, unfortunately, no one in the house likes grapefruit, turns out, Jay. So that was a painful couple of weeks while we were trying to eat all this grapefruit.
My mom was on like the grapefruit for breakfast diet.
Oh no.
And then every once in a while she would like I'd be running late for school, so she'd just cut me a half a grapefruit and I just realized I'm just not going to eat.
Yeah.
But man, I love the taste. I love like grapefruit flavored drinks are all fantastic.
Yeah, I tried actual dragon fruit. Don't care for it, but dragon fruit drinks, like it. So I'm guessing it's like the same type of thing.
There's part of me that thought we had already done the sour watermelon Mike and Ike's, but I don't think we have.
I don't think we have.
Nice sour flavor.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Pink Mike and Ike's box. Green Mike and Ike's. I think the watermelon gets maybe a little overpowered by the sour flavor, but not bad.
No, honestly, reminds me of the watermelon Jolly Rancher.
All right, last but not least, dehydrated piss, aka 7-Eleven Tropical.
7-Eleven.
7-Up. God damn it. No, I saw this in a 12-pack and I went, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. So I waited to see if I could ever get like a couple bottles. And I saw these the other day. I was like, well, gotta get those.
You probably made a good call.
I would say the label is very like Miami Vice.
All right, here we go. You know, it's actually not bad.
I think that's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
I'd say 7-Up. Like you get that lemon lime 7-Up, maybe a little bit of orange.
Definitely getting some orange, getting some pineapple.
I think maybe a little coconut too.
Yeah, a little bit of coconut for sure.
Not bad.
No, I like it. It's kind of a mild flavor, not too overpowering. I think it would pair well with a Collision Dorito.
I was gonna get a little tropical here. Let's throw the watermelon in there.
Get a watermelon in there, see how that does. You know, viewers love this segment so much, Jay. Where we eat into the microphone.
Where we eat and drink in the microphone.
It works.
Honestly, I'd say 4 wins. I don't know that I could rank these. I think I don't know that any of them stand out as better than the rest, but I'd say they're all really good.
Yes, in a rare horror for the holidays garbage day segment. Actually, pretty good items all around.
Well, if you want to get in touch with us, send us an email. Tell Jeff your thoughts on the MCU.
God.
Or I don't know. Tell Jeff or if you want to market your podcast network to us, get in touch, horrorfortheholidays@gmail.com. Get in touch with us on social media. We are all the places. We are at Horror for Holidays. That's horror, the number 4 holidays.
YouTube.com/horror for the holidays. Hit the subscribe bell. The subscribe bell.
I mean, you might as well, right?
I mean, the bell is the real subscribe button because apparently subscribing doesn't tell YouTube that you actually want to be notified when videos go up. Crazy. But yeah, if you leave us a comment over there, we read them all. Good place to leave us like ideas for stocking stuffers you might want to see or your opinions on these movies.
Spencer told us how much he loves the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
Yes. It's good to know.
Go Burbs.
I just hope they don't run into any wind turbines, Jay.
It's a burb graveyard.
Burb gravia.
Leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice, 5 stars. Let us know how bad a job we're doing. If you think this podcast is fucking terrible, 5-star review. We'll read it, but only if it's 5 stars. I don't want to hear how bad this podcast is on a 1-star review.
We're not wasting our time with that. We have to read enough 1-star reviews for clothes for Christmas.
And I think most importantly, if you know someone you think would enjoy this podcast, tell them about it. If you think either our strange brand of humor would resonate with your friend, or if the content of this podcast talking about Christmas horror movies is something that a friend might be interested in, tell them about it. That's more likely to get somebody to listen than a YouTube recommendation. Yes. or a podcast, where us being featured in some podcast thing.
Or, on the flip side, if you really hate this show, send it to one of your enemies you think will be absolutely despise this show. And then maybe we could get some hate listeners.
I don't know. Find a way to hack the HUD TVs and start playing this podcast on all the screens.
Yes,
somebody already did that.
Elon, if you're listening, use your sweeping Doge powers to put us on all the federal building TVs.
I'm against Elon Musk, but if he did that, We might have something to
We'd
talk
have
about.
to name him a friend of the podcast at the very least.
God damn it.
That would be more painful to Jay than anything. I think.
Really, I might kill myself after that episode.
I'll tie your hands. You won't be able to.
All right.
Aha, brought it full circle.
All right.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thanks for listening. Bye.